I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
We have such sights to show you.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
I guess I was probably returning videotapes.
I am big. It's the picture that got small.
Who cares?
Greetings, beautiful listeners out there in podcast land, and welcome to another episode of the Movie Roulette Tuesday podcast. I am Rachel.
I'm Carl.
I'm Matt.
And this week, it's my pick. And as I hinted last week, I have chosen for us National Lampoon's Animal House. This was a film made in 1978. It's rated R. It stars John Belushi, and I think it's Kevin Bacon's first film. Donald Sutherland is in this. There's a bunch of other people that I don't know. John Landis directed it.
I'm surprised you didn't lead with John Belushi's dead, you know.
I'm getting there. Why do you keep stealing my death thunder? Okay? I am the announcer of death, not you.
Okay.
Me.
All right.
John Belushi is dead.
What?
It's terrible, I know. Anyway.
Why is that important to you?
I just want to share. I feel like I need to know if a person is alive or dead.
She's the Grim Reaper of the podcast,
Angel
clearly.
of death.
So were you the person behind the Is Abe Vigoda Dead webpage? No,
but I do think about that. For a long time, I thought Bob Dylan was dead, and he wasn't.
Yeah,
he
still
might
not.
as well be dead. I don't know. Sorry,
Wow.
Bob Dylan. I know.
Wow.
I know. Okay, anyway, back to this movie. Written by Harold Ramis. He wanted to be in this movie, Egon, but John Landis said he was too old, so he was not cast. I think he was a little upset by that. And yeah, I like some of the other National Lampoon movies. I love Vacation. Christmas Vacation is one of my favorite movies of all time. European Vacation. Look, kids, Big Ben, Parliament. So
I didn't like European Vacation as much as the first Vacation and Christmas Vacation.
Why not?
I think it honestly is I haven't seen it as much. Like, I feel like the original Vacation and Christmas Vacation are the ones that were on all the time, and European Vacation
it's a lesser known
on as much growing up.
It's funny because European Vacation was the one that I watched the most growing up. That was, I think, the first National Lampoon's movie I saw even before Christmas Vacation. And I don't know, I always thought that one was popular, but I get that it's not. And it's funny, we had a conversation about this with our friend Andrew.
Hi Andrew.
Hi Andrew, loyal listener.
Yes.
My hypothesis is that more people who are the target audience for these types of movies are going to identify more with the premise of Vacation or Christmas Vacation, and European Vacation, maybe not so many people can identify with traveling to another country or having those types of experiences, so there isn't that much of a connection.
Yeah, but
maybe.
Everyone's gone on a road trip to an amusement park, or
Exactly.
most people.
World. Yeah.
People have had family get-togethers in Christmas. And
Yeah, or there's something like, going to the tree lot.
Right.
Yes.
Or just...
It's Christmas and we're all in misery.
Exactly. There's so many other things that you
having the shitter full.
That's...
Oh my God. I just identify with the Griswold family just so very much.
Well, how about this movie? How about Animal House and College?
So
and all
Animal
that
House was the first National Lampoon movie.
It was? I didn't know
You
that.
see, fun fact, you just learned. And National Lampoon was a magazine.
It still is.
Okay, it still is. I did not know that. See?
Yeah.
So I know it was a magazine. I know that it was written by college students and college graduates. And the genesis of it was the Harvard Lampoon, which started in the 1800s. And then it became National Lampoon, and it was many different students from different schools contributed, and it was satire. Yeah. Kind of, I think of like Mad Magazine.
Well, see, I used to read Mad Magazine
a
me
lot.
too. And Cracked.
Growing up, and Cracked.
Yeah.
I had both.
I think it's similar.
Who had the fold-in? Was it Cracked that had the fold in the back? Or
Oh,
it would be like the drawing, and you'd fold it in, and it would make something else.
Make another picture. Yeah, it was one
Yeah.
of them. I don't remember which
Okay.
one.
But I always remember seeing the National Lampoon magazine next to those, and I'd pick it up, and I was too young. I
Yeah,
didn't
to
really
appreciate it,
get
really.
Yeah.
It was probably more scholarly, right? Or more highbrow? I don't know. I never
I
read.
just didn't get it.
I never read one.
I knew that.
I think you probably had to be older
at the time,
You know,
yeah.
I think you're right. It was a little more educated or a little more
Maybe
high
I don't know.
level. I don't know. I probably would have enjoyed it, but
Yeah.
I missed it. I guess it's still around, so I could look at it, but it's probably not the same now as it was in the 70s.
Nothing is no. Yeah.
So, but this is the first National Lampoon movie. A fun fact about this movie is that I think they wanted to do this at Harvard or something, and Harvard read the script and was like, no way. A bunch of colleges read the screenplay and was like, no way. And the University of Oregon, I believe, missed out on The Graduate. They turned down The Graduate, wanted to film there, and the dean or whatever turned it down, being like, no, we're not going to have a film here. And then he saw the movie and was like, oh my God, what a missed opportunity. So when Animal House came along, he's like, yeah, you can film here. And they did. And then when the movie was screened, he's like, you can't associate our university with this film. But eventually the tables turned, and it's such a cultural success that now they're cool with it. They're like, yeah, we totally had this movie filmed here.
Sure.
So that was kind of fun.
Having never seen this movie, I can understand why a college or university might not want to be associated directly
With debauchery and
So I don't know much about this movie except that it's about fraternities and kind of college fuck ups and party guys and the dean having it out for. Oh wait, let me read the description.
Yeah.
So the description of this movie is: at a 1962 college, Dean Vernon Wormer, what a name, is determined to expel the entire Delta Tau Chi fraternity. But those troublemakers have other plans for him. So it sounds wacky. Sounds like lots of wacky stuff's gonna happen. But speaking of college wackiness, I put it to you gentlemen, what is the most college-y thing that you've done or experienced? Now, none of us, we've all been to college, but none of us lived there,
Nope.
correct.
right?
I had friends that lived there, and I would go
Yeah,
visit
so did I.
them,
But of the three of us, we all commuted. None of us lived at college. So
That's
we
true.
never lived, nobody was part of a fraternity or a sorority.
Nope.
But even having said that, and it doesn't have to be during college, it could be outside of the college years, but what is the most
I don't know what you're talking about anymore.
college-y thing?
Stop talking about the pregnancy and show us the baby.
What is it? What do you mean by college? So it could be any event in your whole life.
So, like,
but
it's-
if it was college-y, we should talk about it.
Yeah.
Man, I had this
What does that
exam I
mean?
had to take
No,
once.
not like that.
Like
all right.
oh my God, that's all something that happens at college.
Yeah.
But it should like happen while you're at college.
But it didn't. It happened. Yeah. All right. So I will give you my example.
Because if it happens before that, it's kind of like delinquent behavior, and then if it happens after that, well, it's also delinquent adult behavior.
I think that this happened to me. I think I was in college when this happened, and you were there,
Yeah,
Matthew.
I know what you're going to talk about.
And I would like to preface this by I don't condone anybody else doing this.
Yeah.
This is bad behavior. But we were at my boss's house. He invited us over, Matt and I,
For cards.
for cards, for fun, right? And he set up, he had a utility sink in his back room. He had lived in an old farmhouse and he had this big utility sink. And he's like, oh, we could totally play cards and have snacks and do a gravity bong. And I'm like, I don't know what that is. Because I was young and innocent. And he's like, oh, it'll be great. You'll love it. We'll show you how to do it. And you knew how to do it, right?
Yeah, I did.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm up for whatever. Okay. So we go, and he's got the giant gallon milk container. and the utility sink filled with water. Carl, you know what a gravity bong is, right? We've talked about
I
this.
can neither confirm nor deny
Okay,
my
fine,
knowledge
great.
of the gravity
That's
bong.
fair enough.
Although my mother doesn't listen to this podcast, so
That's fine.
I'm safe.
It's
All right.
legal now.
Yeah, it's totally
I
legal.
know.
So he's like, yeah, do it. You can be the first one to do it. So they're all telling me it was my boss and Matt, and that was his roommate there at the time. There was another person there. It was shadowy. I don't know.
They hang you upside down, right?
No.
No.
That's a keg stand.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
So the gravity bong is you cut off the bottom. Again, don't try this at home,
No.
kids. You cut off the bottom of a gallon milk container and you take the cap off the top.
Yeah.
And you submerge the bottom of the milk container, empty milk container, in the water. And you put a screen with the cannabis where the cap is.
Okay, yeah.
And you light it on. No. You submerge it all the way, almost all, till it's all in the water. Then you light the weed, and you slowly pull up so it creates a vacuum, and all the smoke gets pulled into.
So it's between the water and the
Yes.
top of the.
And
okay.
what you're supposed to do is then take that screen off, put your lips on the opening, and just smash that sucker down into the water, and it just forces all the air into your lungs. Now.
Yeah, that sounds dangerous.
It was. So it's stupid.
But when you don't know what to expect, it can
Yeah.
be surprising.
So I do it, and then immediately I can't breathe. I'm like a small person. So I can't breathe.
You can breathe.
I couldn't breathe. I was like
You were
choking.
breathing smoke like a dragon.
Yes.
I have to say, it was like the thickest, densest,
Oh my god. It was like
yellowest, black
black.
She's like a fire extinguisher.
smoke. Just
So I'm like,
everywhere.
everyone's like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I need a minute." So I stumble outside.
You didn't stumble. You made it all right
I did.
outside.
I felt like I stumbled. I went outside and I sat down, and then all of that weed just hit me all at once. And I remember, because it's a hallucinogen, but people do it in smaller doses.
It's mild.
No, it wasn't mild. So I'm sitting on the stoop of this person's house, looking at the road, and there's cars going by, and I'm looking at the cars, and then I would look away, and my vision would be delayed. So I would see the road, I'd look away, I'd still be seeing the road, and it would take like a second. And I'm like, that's it. I've lost my mind. It's over. I am officially insane. I've ruined my brain. So I must have been out there for a while. Because eventually Matt comes out. He's like, you okay?
So behind the scenes, while you're sitting on a curb outside staring at traffic, we're inside finishing
yeah, having a grand
the
old
gravity
time.
bongs, and
Yep.
I'm talking to your boss. I won't
Yep,
mention
yep.
any names.
No.
And we're talking, and we're both like, we should go check on Rachel, huh?
Yeah.
Like, yep. And I think he went out first.
I don't even remember
I
that.
don't even remember, but you were just like
Gone.
staring at the road, mumbling to yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I can't get out of it. I can't.
I told Matt, I think I grabbed his arm in like a death grip. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you're going to have to take me to the mental hospital. Like, I meant it. I'm like, we got to go. We got to go to Butler.
Except none of that happened. What did happen is we played cards and we played with sheep, and there was an alligator there.
Yeah.
For real.
That was real. Yep, we walked down the
It
road.
was a baby alligator.
And then
Or was it a crocodile?
It was a baby alligator, and then the other roommate came home, and he was a waiter at a fancy restaurant, and he showed us. We had like a napkin folding session. It was great. So the
We did
night
the bishop's
ended.
hat.
The
And
bishop's hat.
We talked about foie
That's
gras.
right.
You
as he was
rallied.
making that.
I totally rallied.
Good.
But man, I thought I was done for.
I broke something in my brain.
I did. I really felt that way. So I don't advise it. I have never ever done that again, and I never will. But yeah, that was my.
That's the moment you
stupid-
associate with college.
Yeah, it's like a stupid dumb.
Gravity bongs seem like a college thing to do.
Yeah, or like, if you jump off the roof and break your arm, or just some idiotic thing that you do.
I was jumping off of roofs like
Yeah, I
way
know
before
you
college.
Carl, how about you?
Oh, what haven't I done?
Yeah, right.
No, I led a very straight-laced youth.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only thing that, without much preparation here to think of something, the event that springs to mind, and I think this would have been during college.
See? All right.
I had an ex that was going to a party. She was going to a party at a friend's house. Mm-hmm. And I was either in school, because one of the reasons I didn't live at college was because I worked. I had a job too, so I would go to school and then at night I would go to work. And so it was one of those situations where I either had class or I had to go to work after, but I said, I'll stop by the party once I'm done with whatever it was I was doing.
Yeah.
So I show up, and unbeknownst to me, everybody was on mushrooms.
Except you.
I didn't know that this was going to be a thing ahead of time. And I didn't necessarily have experience with that sort of substance at the time.
How did you come to find out that they were all on mushrooms?
Well...
Yes, take us through this.
So funny you asked. Now I don't remember, there are two vivid memories I have about it.
Yeah.
The first was when I arrived, there was a gentleman sitting on the front steps, much like it sounds like Rachel was.
Oh, yes.
Except instead of talking to himself, he was talking to a bush next to the steps. And what I remember, he was saying things like, I didn't know I was going to be here tonight. Did you know I was going to be here tonight? And just having a conversation. So I come in and I said, well, that's interesting. That guy's having a great time. And so I show up. He's like, hey, man, you here for the party? I'm like, yeah, my significant other's in there.
Yeah.
Oh, head in, man. Having fun. So I'm like, is this some kind of like Eyes Wide Shut party? Like what?
Do I need a
Fidelio?
password? Yeah.
Like what is going on? So I walk in, and the next person I'm trying to find her, my ex.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find her. And I've never been in this house, or I don't remember if I'd been in this house before, but obviously I'm looking for her. So I'm wandering around this house, and there are people in various stages of disrepair. And the other guy I remember is I walked past the bathroom, and there was a guy in the bathroom. The door was open, and looked like he was trying to exit the bathroom. And he was in the threshold of the bathroom. So he was in the bathroom, and he had one leg over the threshold, like he was on a tightrope.
Okay.
And he goes, man, be careful if you come in here. I think there's a step. And he's like balancing. And so I stop and I look at him and I'm trying to think, do I help this guy or do I just leave him
to his own devices?
So I said, well, let me give him a happy medium. So I said, no, it looks like there's maybe a little bit of a lip, but I think if you just put your leg down, you'll make it. Yeah, just try. Just give it a try. Just put your leg down. So he put his leg down. He's like, whoa, you were right. And I said, good. So
good on you.
Eventually I found her.
Yep.
And I remember she was wearing a striped shirt.
Yeah.
And her friend was fascinated by the stripes on her shirt.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, what is
going on?
And I wasn't into that.
Yeah.
So it's, imagine, not being into alcohol and being at a party when everyone's drunk and you're not.
Yeah.
It's a different level when everyone's on mushrooms and you're not.
Did you stay for a long time?
No.
You're like, we got.
I did not. I stayed for a little while, but eventually I was just like, you know what? I'm not having fun.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go.
I'm gonna go.
And they're like, oh man, really? I'm like, yeah. So that's the event that springs to mind.
Okay. I like that one.
Yeah. But yeah, bush guy and bathroom guy. I hope they're okay.
Step, I can't get
he was just like balanced. Like he might still be in that bathroom if I didn't help him.
If you weren't there.
Right.
To be like, you're good. Put your foot down.
Just put your foot down, man. You got it.
Okay.
My turn?
Your turn. You got something.
I don't have anything.
You don't have anything.
Well, of course I do.
You're so full of it.
I mean, I don't know. Apparently, we were talking about, our drug experiences, which are highly
Yes.
tied to our college experiences. So I don't know. I have a couple stories. One, I'll keep them short.
Okay.
One, I always get in trouble for this. But it was around the time that Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas came out, the movie. And as a result, after watching that movie, myself and a friend might have taken some LSD and gone to a local mega casino just to try to recreate.
I love that was your first thought after
experience.
seeing that movie.
Like,
We
I
need to
need to
try
do
that
this.
as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And we did.
And he calls me on the phone. I'm at work. And he tells me it wasn't. I didn't get to participate.
That's not why you were mad initially.
I was mad because it was not a smart idea. But yeah,
Driving home was not ideal,
no.
but that was a lot of fun. Second, this was with, I had friends that went to Worcester Polytech, and I would go up there occasionally and stay there. And there'd always be some party going on at someone's house. And this one time I went with a friend to a house party, and there were a bunch of people there. It was pretty relaxed, having drinks and stuff, normal, watching TV, playing games. And someone made a tray of brownies, special magic brownies.
Love is the magic ingredient, right?
Absolutely not.
No.
There was definitely love put into them because they were good, but no, these were pop brownies. And my friend and I went in the kitchen when they came out and they were cooling, and no one really came to claim them.
Did you know they were special brownies?
We did.
Come on, you can smell that from a mile away.
We ate the whole tray. The entire tray. Not at first. We had a couple.
At first.
And then we were asking, whose are these? Because the person who made them either didn't want to claim them or left, or I don't know.
So someone
what.
just baked random brownies and left them?
Yeah.
That was nice of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Whose are these?
so
Were you walking around
Anyone?
with a tray of brownies being like, whose are these?
you make that sound weird. We did.
I believe
Like, we
that.
came
I
out,
totally believe
whose
that.
are these? And we just kind of
Kept going?
kept eating them until they were gone.
Did anyone ever claim them?
No, or if they did, I had no clue after that because I was in a different place.
A different plane of consciousness.
Were you outside
After that.
looking at cars?
I did end up outside.
Yeah.
I threw up at a bush because
Well, that's a lot of even like non-special brownies. That's a lot of brownies to
it's
eat in one
because
sitting.
drinking as well with that. Don't drink, people. It's bad for you, and
It is bad for you. We're going to talk
it's
about
never
that
done
next.
anything positive for me in my life. So I stopped.
That's right.
Good for you.
Thank you. But so there was that, and then one last one was the same friends that went to Worcester Polytech. I went camping with one time, and I couldn't tell you where. It was in Connecticut somewhere, I think, or someplace. And we rented a plot, whatever, a campsite. And there were hardly any other people there. So it was myself, two other people, and we had our own tent, and there was like a playground equipment there. And we were, we had all kinds of snacks and food with us, but we also had alcohol with us, specifically Captain Morgan, and we had beer, a lot of beer. So we were drinking, and I had this big pack of Twizzlers. I love Twizzlers. Red Vines are better, but
That's fighting words.
I had one of those
strawberry
like,
flavored plastic.
2-pound bags of Twizzlers. So I'm eating Twizzlers, running around like an idiot, drinking Captain Morgan. And I had
That's a weird
anything.
combo.
Oh, I know.
Oh, you bet. So we're like on the swings, and the campground staff comes out and yells, "You guys are too old to be on the swings." I'm like, "There's no age limit on swings."
Wow,
I'm being
rebel.
an asshole because that's what you do.
That's what you. Yep.
Anyway, later on, a couple, a man and a woman, come and set up camp next to us. And they're hanging out with us, talking. They have beer. Now, the bottle of Captain Morgan's gone, and we are pounding beer after beer after beer.
What kind of beer was it?
I don't
even
care.
know. Okay.
It was just garbage beer.
Yeah, like Natty Ice.
Maybe,
Ew.
but the couple, they had Moosehead. Is that a beer?
Maybe.
Anyway,
I don't know.
they had beers, and it's us, and we lit a fire, and that went well. No issues there. But we're all sitting around the table, and all of a sudden the couple disappear. And I don't know if you've ever stayed in a hotel room with really thin walls and maybe a newlywed couple in the next room or above you.
Our Bermuda cruise. The people next to us on our Bermuda cruise.
Yeah.
Like the whole time.
Well, so imagine if instead of a room, it was a tent.
Yeah, that's even thinner walls.
So we're sitting there, drinking beer.
Yeah.
Like,
how far away is
eating more
this tent
stuff.
from you?
Like 10 feet away.
Yeah, that's...
So that's all we get. So we're sitting there and we just hear, sex sounds.
Noises.
And that's like,
You must have been dying
we're
laughing.
trying not to laugh though, because then they'll hear us and stop. So
You don't want to disrupt them.
no.
We want to see where this goes.
So it
It went.
followed its course. And,
Natural trajectory.
we all know what happens.
Yes.
And we're like, all right, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Let's go to bed. The minute I lie down, my body remembers that I ate an entire bag of Twizzlers and most of a bottle of Captain Morgan, and I'm in a tent that zips closed. And in a sleeping bag. So I'm lying down. I'm like, oh, I'm not really feeling that great. And the two people are like, shut up, man. Go to sleep. And I'm like, oh no, I don't feel very well. So now I have to get
Exit
sick.
the tent.
Extricate yourself
Yeah.
from
And
that
I'm
situation.
like hammered. I just remember it's like, so after all that, plus all the beer, plus the weird sex tent thing,
How do zippers work?
I can't find it. I'm trying to find the zipper, trying to get out of this tent, like shaking the screen, shaking the flap. And they're like, don't you dare throw up in here. I'll kill you. Which I understand. And I get like the bottom unzipped, and I'm shoving my head out.
You're being
through
birthed
the bottom.
out of the tent.
I am. As red Twizzler, Captain Morgan,
Chunk.
yuck
Oh, it's disgusting.
goes everywhere.
This is gonna be a rated R podcast.
Did it? It always is. I always click the explicit box before we publish it. And then, some got in the tent, and here I am with paper towels and trying to clean
Your balls
them.
must have
and
gotten so busted.
deservedly so.
Yep,
I earned
definitely.
that one. So those are my college stories.
Well, you segued nicely into my next question, and this is a quick one, but I'm sure you cannot ever you couldn't look at Captain Morgan or smell it after that, or could you?
No, I never wanted to have
Like,
it.
what is the alcohol
that, Captain Morgan?
that you can't possibly smell, taste, without just being totally like a Pavlovian vomiting response? Captain Morgan is yours?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if it's that strong of a response.
Yeah.
And now that I don't drink at all,
Yeah.
it doesn't really make a difference. But I always remember that when I see or smell.
You think about that.
Captain Morgan. It's like, you want some? No.
No.
No, I'm good.
Carl?
Goldschlager.
Oh, Goldschlager coming up.
Goldschlager was
Oh.
the first, and I've never drank to the point where I'm blacking out or I don't remember, or I've never even thrown up
Really?
from drinking.
Wow. That's good.
The first thing I ever got drunk on was Goldschlager,
But
and which isn't a good drink in general. Like,
Very cinnamony.
but I can't even chew Big Red
Really?
without thinking of.
about that?
I can't smell Goldschlager. It's just
it's like drinking cinnamon antifreeze.
Yeah, no.
Well, that's like Fireball.
Yeah. Yeah. That is like that. Mine's Southern Comfort. Because you and I pounded a bottle of Southern Comfort in our teenage years,
Oh, we
and I
did.
think I vomited it up everywhere. And that
Probably.
sickly, sweet orange.
The funniest thing ever, well, maybe not to me at the time, was when you're like, you were young, and you're like, yeah, I want to try that drink that Janis Joplin drank. She would always drink SoCo. I want to try that. Like,
SoCo?
that's Southern Comfort. You're like, no, it's not.
I did argue with you about that. I was younger. We won't say how. We'll just say I was younger, and I didn't know.
It was funny.
SoCo.
But yeah. And what about you? Oh, you
I
already
just said it. Oh, and Jägermeister. Ugh.
Yeah.
Same reason. Just, I must have had it too much once, and it tastes like cough medicine or something. Just, I can't even. Ugh.
It's almost, it's like you're drinking bitters.
Yeah.
All at once. Although I always kind of had an affinity for not Goldschlager, Jägermeister.
Ugh. I like it.
It's a good sipping thing.
But anyway,
Yeah.
Well, good.
glad we all got that.
So and learning. Learning is very important about college.
Yes.
It's good to
Learning
So
is
much.
good.
As we have
I did get a degree,
yeah.
so
Same.
good things came out of that.
As we have a son going to college shortly.
Yes, he'll be going to college.
He should
in the
not listen
fall.
to this episode, or if he does, do the opposite.
No.
That's
This
right.
is a
These
cautionary
things.
tale.
This is a warning. Ooh. Just watch it on Animal House.
Are you
That's
a
all you're
ghost?
gonna do.
Why'd you make that noise?
It's a warning.
All right.
Ghosts warn.
Okay.
You were Jacob Marley. You know about warning
I was.
people. So, what did we have for dinner?
So we had I didn't ask for specifics, but it was Asian themed. We had
It was.
we had a fried rice of
We
some
had
kind.
pork fried rice.
Pork fried rice. We had little spring rolls, or
Yeah, little egg rolls. Vegetable egg rolls.
they looked like they were some kind of cabbage concoction, which I had
Vegetables.
none of.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, that was just like chopped Asian salad, which is so good. Why wouldn't you eat that?
I
hit a lot of vegetables in the fried rice.
I saw, and I
Did
ate
you
them.
notice that? You did?
Yeah, there were
Good.
carrots
Was
in
that-
there. Looked like there were some peppers.
Carrots, peppers, and Swiss chard.
Yeah.
Was that pork from the meat market?
Yes.
That we went to?
Yeah, we went. I discovered a local meat market, which is awesome. And you get like huge cuts of meat, super cheap. So that's what
What
we've
was
been
it?
eating.
33 pounds of assorted meat?
33 pounds
for-
of meat for $70.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Ask
was
me where
really
I
good.
get it. DM me on Twitter.
Yeah, use social media if you
Use
want to
social
find
media
out.
and I'll tell you.
Yeah, I mean, just to throw this out there,
Yeah.
we've seen some of you comment on our
I know.
on our Spotify
Which
page,
is
and it's super
awesome.
cool. We love hearing from all of you, and,
Yes.
and we're watching and we're reading.
Yeah, and
so
it makes our day.
It does.
We're very into it. So one of the three of us, or maybe all three of us, will definitely respond because it's cool. So thank you for doing that. And what else did I want to say? Oh, I might have said this already. We're watching this on Netflix. This is available on Netflix. I
Right
believe
now.
it's available
At the
on
moment.
Prime to rent if you want to rent it. But it is available for free at this moment, which is sometime in June.
hopefully you weren't sharing somebody's password.
Oh, well, you're screwed
It's not
now.
free. You have to pay for the subscription.
Well, it's free with the subscription.
It's included.
It's included in the
Nothing's free.
subscription. Wow, cynical.
No.
All right. So, anyone have anything else to say before we
No.
venture into the Animal House?
No.
National Lampoon's Animal House?
Let's go.
All right, let's fire this baby up. And we're back after our viewing of National Lampoon's Animal House. What did we think of this movie?
Well, I can see where it Carl mentioned this earlier, so all credit has to go to him for this.
Yeah.
But I can see where modern movies were inspired by this one. It's a series of these little vignettes that make up a story, and there are these funny little moments. And Carl, you had good examples of what was it like?
Yeah.
Old school, with the troublesome frat.
Yep.
I've a little bit of American Pie, like Stifler's
Yeah.
mom, like the
Yep, with like the dean's
With the
wife.
dean's
and
wife.
this.
What was that movie where like this? They go back to school and there's a fraternity, not old school, but I wish I could
Do you
remember
have more than that?
who was in it.
No?
No, I'll loop
Nothing.
back. I'll
All right,
I'll
that's
circle
fine.
back.
But like they had the toga party and like, I don't know, it was just, there's no real huge plot to this movie.
Like you said, this was their first one, National Lampoon.
Yes.
Yeah, you can tell.
Well,
Yeah.
that was my biggest problem with it. I didn't care about any of these people.
No.
So it's like you introduce the two. They make it seem like they were the two main characters, these
No,
two
they're
guys
not.
that were pledging, but
No.
you just have a cursory knowledge of what their deal is,
Yeah.
and then it's just nonsense.
That's all it is. It's just a satire of college. That's all this is. That's all this is.
It's a satire of like social life in college and fraternity living.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So,
but
I mean,
that's all I
It takes
Thought
place
it
in
would be.
1962.
Yeah.
But it came out in 1978.
78. Yeah.
So it kind of I guess captured that time period. I don't know.
I wasn't there, so
No, I
I'm going to
wasn't there,
assume that it did. But, yeah, so it just goes through and you're introduced to these two pledges, these young guys, and they're nerds, and the popular fraternities don't want them, so they end up at Delta House, and it's like this total pit, and there's all these, cast of characters that live there, and you just kind of follow their antics throughout the college, and they come into conflict with the popular fraternity. They come into conflict with some sort the dean. I'm getting there. Some sort of like student military group. I don't know what it was supposed to be.
Well, it seemed like members from Omega House were members of like an ROTC.
Yeah, and then they come into conflict with the dean, which is so stupid. Everything's so stupid.
It is.
But I knew it was going to be stupid going in, so it doesn't bother me at all. And there were some definitely really funny parts that I enjoyed.
Funny
that I
moments,
laughed.
for sure.
Yeah, it was stupid. And then they end up, getting in trouble, and they all have terrible GPAs. And they decide, spoiler alert, that they're getting expelled anyway. The dean is expelling them. He can't wait. And they're going to go out with a bang. And the school's having a homecoming parade through the town. And the mayor of the town had warned the dean, nobody better act up. This better be nice. I really didn't want to do this. And of course, they totally ruin the whole parade. Like, they turn it into complete chaos. They make their own float. They reroute the marching band. And just shenanigans ensue. And that's how the movie ends.
Yep.
No lessons are learned. No. Like nothing. It's just
No, there's no lessons learned. There's no lessons to be learned. It's just, I don't know.
Aside from this and the vacation movies, what else did National Lampoons do in terms of films?
Bunch of stuff. They did stuff in the 90s that I know I didn't like.
Yeah.
So they did, I think they did like National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon, which was like a spoof of Lethal Weapon. They did, was it Van Wilder?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, that's right.
What's his name's like first big, Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Yep.
It was like his first big movie.
Yep. Okay. Chevy Chase kind of made them, though, I feel, in terms of their movies.
I feel like that was their prime.
Yeah.
From a movie standpoint.
There was Animal House, and then Class Reunion in 82, Movie Madness in 82, Vacation in 83, Joy of Sex in 84, European Vacation 85, Christmas Vacation 89, Loaded Weapon 1, Senior Trip, Loaded Weapon 1 was 93, Senior Trip 95, Vegas Vacation 97, Golf Punks 98, Van Wilder 02, Replicate, Kate 02, Blackball 03, Jake's Booty Call 03.
Most of these must have been straight to video.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Now we're going like getting kind of gross and weird. I don't know. They did a ton in the 2000s, like a ton.
Really?
And that was after, Matt, you've discovered something about the magazine.
I did. So the magazine is not currently still in production. This is like when you realize that, 1992 was way farther back.
Wasn't 5 years ago,
No.
yeah.
It ended in 1998. So.
But the garbage movie franchise
It just
was
continued to
done.
crank 'em
Oh
out.
my God, they did. Yikes.
Yeah.
And another thing to note is that by the time you're hearing this movie won't be on Netflix anymore. It's leaving July 1st, and you're going to hear this after July.
And you've already tried to find it since we told you it was on Netflix before the movie, so sorry for your fruitless searching.
You'll find it somewhere.
We're a bunch of liars. Sent you on a fruitless errand. Awful.
I don't know that I liked this movie.
What?
I don't know that I liked it.
I thought it was great. Why didn't you like it?
I think if I had seen it when I was younger,
Yeah.
I would have had more fun with it. But
Yeah.
I feel like it was a weird tone because I look at a movie like Naked Gun,
Yep.
which is like just complete
Silliness.
silliness, the
Silly.
whole movie. But
Yeah.
this one, it was weird because it would seem like it was kind of trying to tell something or be a straight story, but then Kevin Bacon gets flattened like a Looney Tune cartoon,
Like
and
Roger Rabbit.
and it's like,
Yeah.
and they do stuff like that. It's like, well, oh, all right. Like, as an adult seeing that, it's just like, that's
stupid.
It's
It is
stupid.
stupid. But I felt like, and you're right, they were definitely stupid. Like, oh my god. But there were enough witty or funny or humorous or satirical things in there that I was entertained. I didn't expect a lot from this movie, I have to be honest. Like, I didn't expect a cohesive, true story about, like, a couple of characters. I knew it was just going to be a mishmash of, like, a montage almost. And it was. I don't know. I did think it was funny.
I also never was into, just from comedy in general, I was never into the Three Stooges
Oh, see,
type of comedy.
I
was more
was.
Abbott and Costello, like the more vocal comedy, and this was definitely more Three Stooges
Oh, you
brand
think so? You
than.
don't think there was funny, like,
It was a mix, I thought.
I did too.
I mean, I don't know how highbrow witty it was, but it's just funny, like stupid things that you just kind of laugh at. There was plenty of that. It certainly wasn't deep. The characters were very one-dimensional,
They're all
flat.
stereotypes, but that's what made it funny.
Right, but
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can see I don't know that it's for everyone. I did like watching it from the lens of a lot of things. It influenced, like you said, Carl, a lot of other movies, and that's
But
kind of funny
even like
too.
something like Airplane, like a movie like Airplane is funnier to me than something like this.
Yeah, I think so too. And it just it seems smarter.
Right, exactly.
Airplanes
It's smarter
Don't
humor
call me
instead of like,
Shirley.
oh, look at this dumb guy shoving food in his face.
Oh, look,
like,
John
it's just-
Belushi poured mustard on himself.
Right, oh,
Stupid,
he
come
smashed
on.
that beer bottle right over his head. Like,
Again.
I don't,
He just drank a whole bottle of Jack Daniels.
like, young Carl might have been like, oh, those goofs. Like, Carl
Old
now.
Carl doesn't have time for that.
I need more.
I
need
understand.
more
Listen,
than that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You can't love them all.
But this is my first time seeing this. I've never seen
Same.
it. So I have no nostalgia for this.
I don't either.
At
None
all.
of us
Again,
do.
well, right. That's right. So we're all experiencing it for the first time as old farts, and very far away from when this came out and when we were in college. So it's not relatable.
I
and
thought
there's
it
no
was good.
there's no prior attachment to it. I didn't.
I think it's silly.
It is. It's totally
I understand
silly,
it's too silly.
but it's stupid.
I know. I don't know. It tickled my funny bone. I was amused the whole time. It is stupid.
It's dumb. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody, but it is iconic. Or
It is iconic. It's on the Library of Congress's most influential films of the 20th century, or whatever the heck
All
list
right,
it is.
all right.
Because I think, again, to Carl's point, so much came out of this movie. So many other
I guess.
filmmakers were influenced, and I think that that's true. They even have on Futurama, the show Futurama, they do like a whole Animal House
They do.
episode.
I mean, it's
Robot
a
House.
cultural thing,
Yeah.
a reference, a trope. I don't know.
I don't know. It is really goofy. Be ready for that. But I was amused. Thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Okay.
But so anyway, I guess that's all I got to say about that. This movie could never be made today.
No.
Never ever.
No.
And that's okay. I just it's still funny.
Well, I don't know
still
if it's
good.
okay, but it's a reality.
Oh yeah, it's a reality. Could not be made today. So just heads up. Carl, what do you?
Neither could
rate?
Blazing Saddles.
I know. I love Blazing Saddles too. Carl, what do you rate this movie? He's gonna pan it.
I was gonna give it 2 streets, but you get to see Kevin Bacon in his tighty whities and Donald Sutherland's butt,
Oh, I have a story about that.
and so that's worth at least half a star.
Wow, it's generous.
So I'm gonna give it 2.5 streets.
Okay, all right.
You know, if you watched The Hunger Games and you thought, man, I want to see President Snow's butt, you could see it. in this movie.
Well, he shows his butt. I read this in the trivia. Kate Allen, that's the actress's name.
Karen Allen.
Karen Allen. Karen Allen. Her name's Kate in the movie. Karen Allen, the director wanted her to show her butt in the movie, and she wasn't really comfortable with it. She's like,
So that was a stunt double?
No, that was her.
Oh, was it?
So Donald Sutherland says, "Well, I'll show my butt too in the same
Oh, look at
scene.
that.
Like solidarity. If you're gonna do it, I'll do it too." And he was true to his word. He did.
Yeah.
So that's why you see Donald Sutherland's butt.
Oh, thanks, Karen Allen.
Thank God. Yeah.
Being such a prude.
And Donald Sutherland said that this was one of his favorite films to make. It was.
I bet it was fun.
I bet it was fun.
He is entertaining. I'm a big fan of this era of Donald
70s
Sutherland.
Donald
With the big hair.
Yeah, the curly hair.
The big curly hair, like Invasion of the Body
And
Snatchers.
he's kind of young. Like Donald Sutherland to me is always old. Like you
Yeah.
guys feel about Susan Sarandon.
Yeah.
But
Susan Sarandon has been 40 her whole life.
At least 40.
At least 40.
She just
Donald
has that
Sutherland's like that
broken
too.
in look
Oh.
forever. But Donald Sutherland, like when he was in this, in that scene when you first see him, where he's in front of the class talking about
Paradise Lost.
Paradise Lost, I was like, that looks like the exact same suit he wears in Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Maybe
like
it
that
is.
brown corduroy.
That's like
70s.
a uniform, the 70s uniform.
Maybe he brought his own clothes, like Jeff Bridges in Big Lebowski.
Yeah. Yeah.
He just has tweed suits, or corduroy suits in his.
I've got
closet.
these, no problem. I'll take care of this.
Save the wardrobe department some money.
Well, I'm going to give it more than you did.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. It was juvenile. I'm okay with that. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 double secret probations.
Wow, that's
3.5.
That's high.
I enjoyed it. I had a good time watching this movie. I chuckled. I just thought it was funny. It tickled my funny bone.
I mean, there were parts that I laughed at. I wasn't
Yeah.
stone-faced the
No.
whole time, but the cringe moments outweighed for me and
Okay.
detracted from the funny moments.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I gotta agree with Carl on this one.
That's fine.
I liked Otis Day and the Nights.
What was on his face? Did he have like a birthmark on his face?
I don't think so.
Like part of his face was all darker.
Maybe it's acne.
I saw hair. I don't
Maybe.
know.
Maybe it was acne.
I don't know. Something was going on. It's okay.
But yeah, blah. I'm glad I finally saw it.
Yeah.
I don't feel enriched by it.
I don't feel that I need to see it again.
No.
I think that my mom, if she hasn't seen it, might enjoy it because of the time.
So, our daughter, speaking of moms, stayed at or went to my mother's house not that long ago.
Oh yeah.
And they were looking for something to put on, and what does my mother pick to put on? But this movie,
That's right.
Animal House. And she like skipped half of it because she didn't want
Soren to see.
our daughter to see
Yeah.
it, and
Yeah, there's a lot of nudity and
that's probably not a terrible
It's
thing.
not for kids.
No.
It's for college age.
It's not
people.
something I would expect my grandmother to put on.
Oh, right?
Especially when I watched it with her.
Settle in with
my
it.
Nana never. She was just playing spider movies for me.
Yeah, she just
I
watched
wish she had
tarantulas.
played Animal House when I was a kid.
What
No.
would you have a phobia of then? if you had seen
I don't
Animal
know,
House.
togas.
Togas, Budweiser, and boobs.
Yeah.
That's it.
Those are horrible things to have phobias.
I
Yeah.
guess so.
I'd rather be afraid of spiders.
All right. Well, it is. Don't tell me. It's Carl's pick next week.
Yeah, that's true.
It is. It's a statement.
Yes.
Do you have any idea of what you're going to choose?
I know exactly what I'm going to choose.
What is it? You're going to face another fear, childhood fear? We
No.
gonna Go later than that
No.
this time?
Some lighter fare,
Yeah?
more recent movie,
Okay.
but I don't want to spoil anything. I'll just say you should think about who you want in your party.
Like,
Sounds like
well,
like the Poseidon Adventure.
No.
Oh, I like that movie. Like a birthday party,
An adventure.
like a search party,
An adventure.
like a jungle adventure.
you're just naming kinds of
I'm
parties.
trying to-
Every
Yes.
genre. A war party? A pizza party?
A tea party.
Stop. Please.
Why?
No one wants to hear this.
I'm just curious. I'm trying to make Carl guess. Carl.
Why would I need to guess? I know what it is.
I'm trying to make Carl, reveal to me
Ah.
what it is. He's not going to. No. Would you like to close us out for the week?
Okay, I think this is a good one. I think we have a winner of this one.
Okay.
I really feel confident about
I like
this one.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you everybody for joining us for another episode of the Movie Roulette Tuesday
Yes.
podcast. We watch the movies so you don't have to.
No, they have to.
We don't want them, right? Isn't that right? We
I
don't
want them to watch this.
Oh,
No,
well,
damn it, Carl.
ah, God. Okay, I'll try again next week.
Please do.
Okay.
See you later, everyone. All right, bye.